Our guest today is known for bringing us teen influencer interviews and talent interviews with big names such as Aiden Mekas, Jake Paul, YG, Seth Gold and Les Gold from Hardcore Pond. It's Will, the paparazzi gamer. He's here joining us from his car.
What's up?
What is up?
My boy, how you doing?
Exactly. Well, it's been busy lately. Very, very busy. And, I'm just glad that I just told people I just told Will, this is the second episode. Well, it's the third episode, but it's the second episode that we're having and someone that we're interviewing. And I said I had to get Will up on here. He's from yeah, of course. Thank you. West Coast native, West Coast, and that's what we have here. So, I said we had to get you on here, and also I just have a lot of questions, and obviously because everyone sees you. And by the way, I was tempted not to mention my name in that intro because I've been interviewed with Will before too, and I had to say that it was a really good experience, and I've known Will for a little.
It's been a few years now, a couple years now. Yeah.
And
how time goes.
For real. Yeah, no, it hasn't. And it's funny because I remember it was all in the middle of Hollywood when that all started. That's where everything was. And I still love Hollywood. I'll go out there and stuff, but I don't know. You're still in Hollywood. I mean, I know your whole brand kind of represented.
Right. To be honest, I actually was just there yesterday, the day before, and after this interview, I'm going to go look for Kourtney Kardashian, who's going to be in Hollywood tonight.
Okay. Yeah, because they're all over there. Everyone knows, how it is over there.
Yeah. It's like Hollywood is crazy, but if you're in the know, there's still stuff going on there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it is crazy. And I think you kind of add on to it feeling like that when people get there. I don't want to say just the paparazzis, but definitely you, because you know the whole area. You scope around, you go to the different restaurants, and
I do try, man. I try.
Yeah. So I wanted to get in with this interview. I did want to cover things I feel like I don't know if you've covered with other people as much. So I have specific questions that will.
I'm giving you new information. I'm giving you inside. Austin, you're the man. I'm giving you all the top secrets, everything.
Oh, I appreciate that. You already know how I like that. Trust me. And this is only the second episode. And yesterday and last episode, we got some spoilers from Colin A. Borden about a new thing that he's working on. So I can't wait to hear about today. So let's get right into it. Yes. Okay. So first of all, I don't know if a lot of the people that watch you now or a lot of the teen influencers really pay attention to any of this. I know I do, but you've shot a lot of rappers in the past and a lot of hip hop artists that I personally love. I love people like YG. I know you've shot him before. And my first, honestly, I'm going to go with my first question is what was your opinions on YG in that moment when you were shooting him? And just, I'll start from there and then we'll go into the whole rapping territory.
Yeah. Great question, man. I remember the particular night you're talking about. I've seen him a few times, but I know the video you're talking about. And that was a really cool night because he pulled up, he saw myself. There was a couple other camera guys out there, like paparazzi guys, and he wanted to be seen that night. So that's always great when the celebrity, wants you. So he had a bus full of girls, 26 girls, he had I forgot what kind of car. It was like a Lamborghini, Ferrari type, he was driving it. Yeah. Okay. Exactly. I was like, he's driving it in the middle of the street and he was real cool. He, let's see. So I've had 3 encounters with YG specifically, and I tell you, he's actually one of the more down to earth rappers because some rappers aren't real cool with street journalists. He's one of the ones. He and Snoop is pretty good too, Snoop Dogg. But he was real cool. I talked to him a little bit off camera, nothing like crazier, but I talked to him off camera. He wanted to make sure we got all the girls in the car, and him, he wanted to, you get that. And, it was a cool experience.
Did they tell you? Did they tell you ahead of time? Do they make sure that's what you're gonna do?
That's kind of another question. So I think that's one of the secrets that a lot of people outside of Hollywood and even people in Hollywood don't realize is, I'd say it's about 75%. 75% of the time you are tipped off to where this person's going to be. You know, I've had people be like, you scumbag, following these people, you loser, you know, not knowing that I really had just talked to a person on the phone and they're like, we're coming out in 15 minutes. Usually it's their publicist or a manager that actually makes the phone call, not the artist. But, you know, and so I think that's, I think I've even had paparazzi, and I've never said this before. I've had other photographers, street journalists, paparazzi, whatever side they fall on, get mad at me for saying, you know, I think that we should tell the world how set up most of this is. But apparently it's bad for business because, you know, we get the money from it and they don't want us tell the world that, yes, he happened to catch me with my hair perfectly done and my $8,000 dress because I knew he was going to be there. They don't want to say that. So, you know, that's where it is.
And I know personally, I don't just get out of bed looking like a family, and you know this too. So you know this one too about me because I've gone out of bed before and I had to be somewhere and I was not looking the best. But you know, they have to be there, you know, where they're going. And but I do want to mention that because I do think like there's definitely a lot of it that is probably scripted, right? Too, right? A lot of it,
right. Not everything. It ruins moments for some people. There's legitimate moments of Kanye being mad at paparazzi. There's legit moments of Justin Bieber being mad at paparazzi. But when they want it, they still also let us know. Even those two, like as many times as you can find videos of Kanye being terrible, Kanye West being terrible to paparazzi. I mean, I've been to so many times, especially when he was going through it with Kim Kardashian. They tipped us, his team tipped us off to where he was every day. I went like twice because it's not really my audience, but you know, it's silly and funny and fun and awesome.
Do you enjoy the celebrities though, or like just I know you probably enjoy the influencers more, right? Do you enjoy the influencers more? I mean, I feel like I would, you know. I don't know personally about you.
Well, it's funny because it's a business thing almost. So I guess the truth of the matter would be, I have great connections with what I'm going to do to quote like traditional celebrities, you know, TV stars, movie stars, singers, rappers. And then there's the celebrities, the influencers who are celebrities also, but it's just a different kind of celebrity. I would have to say, in the last 3 years, it's been more rewarding to work with influencers only because social media changed street journalists like myself. It changed the game a lot for us. Instagram, where you can just put your own pictures out, make your own stories. Influencers understand that the more they're seen, the bigger it goes their brand. Celebrities or traditional celebrities know this also, but they were taught the old school, you're supposed to act like you hate the fame, even though they spent their whole lives trying to be famous and have people take pictures of them.
Exactly.
You're supposed to act, you know, like they literally spent their whole lives trying to get people to take photos, but they're supposed to act like they don't. And influencers really changed that when Vine came out and I started doing, you know, you've been a long supporter of mine. I appreciate that. Like my videos back when like the Jake Pauls and the Logan Pauls were Vine stars. It was people like that realized, hey, we should tell our fans, this guy just took photos of us. This guy just had video of us. Go watch this. And that really opened doors. So I got to lean towards influencers. A long answer. Right, it did. A long answer to say the influencers, but it took like 5 years.
Exactly. But even for like the influencer game or market, if you want to even call it a market, like that growing.
It is now.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, but like when it first started, because you said like during the Jake Paul time, that was like 2016, 2017.
Yeah,
and then 2020, it like blew up with like a billion.
It blew up. It blew up. Yeah. You know, I saw when Vine came out, I couldn't figure out how to make a funny video in 6 seconds or whatever it was, but other people could. And I, you know, remember telling a buddy of mine, I was sitting outside Catsia in Hollywood waiting on Taylor Swift. This is 2016, waiting on Taylor Swift. She used to go to Catsia Hollywood all the time. All the celebrities did. It was like the spot at the time, like 2014 to 2016. And Cameron Dallas and Jake Paul and Logan Paul, Shawn Mendes, who's now super famous.
Yeah.
He was a part of that group too before he blew up, and
Wow.
all these guys.
Yeah, people don't even know that.
People don't know that. Well, they should. Shawn Mendes was a part of a thing called. Okay, hold on. Let me finish my story.
Okay, okay, he's going all in. He's going all in.
I'm going all in here. I told you this is you, Austin. I'm giving you everything. Everything for you.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Like I remember those guys all being outside while we were waiting on Taylor Swift, and basically they were just they may not admit it now, or maybe they will. They were begging for us to like give them a time of day or interview them or photos. And I was the one who was like, you know what? I think this whole internet thing's going to keep growing with these influencers and they're going to be somebody. And it's funny how I watch so many of them, become big stars when others never believed in it. I said all that to say that.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That was wow. Yeah. I mean, I did not it's weird because I caught you during like a lot of the hip hop and the rapper time when you were like going on a lot of those people. So it was like unique because the fact that I was like, oh wait, shit, this is the same person that was doing this. And then that also brings me to also I heard about this because I did not know this till like a few weeks ago and I do want to talk about this about apparently you filmed the thing with Kevin Durant with the weed.
Yeah, that's my video. Yeah,
that was on TMZ, right?
Yeah, it was on It was on everywhere. Yeah, that was on TMZ. That was on everywhere. Magazines, ESPN, Fox News. Yeah.
Did they come up and they were like trying to slip you money or something? They were like,
They did. They did. When Kevin Durant, when his guy opened the door in the bottle, keep in mind marijuana wasn't quite legal like it is now. Only a few years later, but when the weed dropped, the camera goes like this, and the camera guy's like, and I stop. They come up to me with like a big wad of cash, and I know I have told the story. I'll make it quick. Please just give us the SD card. Please don't release that. It could really hurt Kevin Durant. And the thing about it, and when that happened, I was only at TMZ for like 3 weeks. You had to pass the probationary period to actually get the job and actually get a contract and actually make money and get the benefits. So I was busting my ass off, and in my head I looked at the stack of money. The truth of the matter is, I tell people it was probably about $7,000, $6,000 or $7,000 is what I think. Like I don't think it was. When I tell people they're like $20,000, I was like, no. It was probably like $7,000.
Like that?
Yeah,
like you can buy that. Yeah,
right. And I was like, honestly, this is a pretty decent paying job. I can make that in like a month or under. So for me, it was like it's not worth me giving them my card to someone seeing it and telling on me and me losing my job. I'm a good employee.
Because there was probably a lot of people back there too that were also
right. There wasn't a lot of camera people, but there was one other camera guy who I didn't know. I know him now, who I didn't know, and also just a bunch of people around. I didn't know who worked for who was who, so I wasn't going to risk losing my job for $6,000.
Exactly. Yeah, and you didn't. If you didn't know him back then, you don't know what it's going to be like future with you. Yeah, working with that type of person.
Yeah.
But now that you work with the influencers, because that was, now how long ago was this? This was back in like what, 2017?
The Kevin Durant video, it would probably be 16 or 17. Yeah, 16 or 17. Yeah.
Those days were, to me, it's crazy because to me back then, those were like golden days. But then 2020 came. And it was like
it changed everything. Yeah.
Oh, it did.
It changed everything because the influencers blew.
And how long do you see yourself sticking with the influencers, if you even can, because I don't think.
Well, that's funny that you say that because it's like in a lot of ways I'm already leaning out of it.
Yeah, I know.
To be honest, it's like I definitely still, as you know, I definitely still work with influencers. But I'll be honest, in the last 4 months, it's been far less because I do a lot of work with Getty Images. I've done and a lot of the stuff that I do with them, I can't always post on my page because of them buying the pictures. A whole other thing. But what was that?
Do they ask for specific things like keep it in this type of range of things?
Well, yeah, or you get hired out basically, and so the
Yeah.
photos that you shoot belongs to them. You can do that too if you, depending on what the job is. But I influencers aren't going anywhere. They're
Mm.
not, but it's changing.
Yes.
The world and the fascination is kind of getting more and more used to them, and so it's
Yeah.
the numbers aren't there, the sales aren't there. A lot of the same people that I'm friends with, so so I won't say any names, but a lot of the very people that I used to take photos of and do interviews with that would get 300,000, 400,000 on like a YouTube will now barely crack 10,000 or 20,000. Same people doing even more interesting things than they were 2-3 years ago, but the interest level I see. And so, as a person who's a businessman who has to pivot, I will still work with influencers, but I have been going back towards, like I said, tonight I'm doing something with Kourtney Kardashian. I hopefully you'll see photos tomorrow if everything works out. I'm kind of going back towards the traditional celebrities. Yeah. Long story short, every question you ask me, I give you the longest version of.
I'm glad we need all the meat. You know what I mean? We need everything from this to make sure. I'm hungry. I need to get, especially with what you do. Yeah, exactly. Especially with what you do, because you're so fascinating, because there's different parts of the industry, and I feel like you're still there between, like, if we're out on the street or if we're out in doing a music video, we're out doing something for a show or something, you're there. You know what I mean? You get invited.
I try to put my hand elsewhere, and thank God, or Buddha or Burger King or whoever you believe in.
Yeah.
I
feel that.
Whoever it is you believe in, I do feel thankful. I stay pretty busy. Like I do get offered a lot of work, and I appreciate that. To everybody.
Me and Will praising Burger King for the influencer success. Thank you.
Yes.
I love Burger King. I'm going to go there later today.
But I really only prefer the Whopper. I like a lot of things, but I usually get a Whopper. I don't know why. I love the Whopper.
I like the Whopper too.
It brings me back. It brings me back to like a kid again.
That brings me, that's interesting, because I didn't really grow up with it like that, but I used to watch like a lot of people who used to do like the food reviews, and they used to like Inga Grandpa used to do, like Whopper reviews, and I used to watch a lot of that stuff back. I was always more into the traditional YouTubers, so then when it became like a whole influencer thing, I was like, wow, but Will has kind of covering all of them, which is interesting, because in LA you don't just get a lot of the traditional influencers; they're all over there. So but you get a lot of the flashy influencers, which you have out here. Which, trust me, I know that. I'm from California.
Yeah,
we're gonna get into it because you're from Monterey. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about this. Yeah. How was it like growing up in Monterey for you?
Oh wow! Look at you, man. You're getting deep on me.
Well, I want to, because I think, especially in this show, I want people to see not just where you at now, because there's a whole thing. People don't even know you covered rappers, which to me is like ridiculous. That's such a big thing.
Well, I also used to have gaming on my channel sometimes too.
The paparazzi gamer.
Exactly. That's literally how the name came. I thought it was going to be celebrities and me gaming, but I just wasn't darn good enough at Call of Duty to get enough interest. And people loved the celebrity stuff and the rappers stuff. So I said, okay, I'm going to stick with that. Because the paparazzi gamer really just started off as my side hustle, and then it kind of blew up.
All the sponsors were like, the gaming isn't too good, so we'll
like the gaming, but we like the celebrities.
Exactly.
We like and so, but I kept the name.
Monterey, how was Monterey?
So Monterey, man, was real cool. I moved there when I was 9 years old. My uncle lived there, and he was sick, so my family moved down there, and I loved Monterey. Monterey is a real quiet, beautiful place. It's kind of a retirement community. It's famous for the aquarium, the famous Monterey Bay Aquarium. And when I was a kid, I used to write comic books with my friends. I wasn't a very good artist. But my best buddy at the time was a great artist. But I would write the storyboards, and we would write comic books. And I was like, when I grow up, I'm gonna move to Hollywood, And it was never to be. never to be an actor. I always wanted to do something with cameras. I knew that. I didn't even know what it was, but I knew I always wanted to do something with cameras, something with photos. And so I took community classes in middle school. In high school, I was taking like little like camera classes, little editing classes. I'm a terrible editor, but I was taking editing classes, and just kind of I knew I was going to try to come out to LA at some point. That's as a young person. It took me longer than I planned because I got hired at 19 at a local TV station, KSBW. It was the local NBC affiliate. And so I got that job. It was a really cool job for like a 19-year-old kid. You know, I was making what I thought was big money in those days. I had my own apartment, and you know, I was really encouraged by my family to pursue my dreams. I tell you, man, I had that really good job. You got to be careful messing around with the wrong girl. I was in love with one of my exes, and she talked me into leaving my good job and moving to Vegas because I had family there and she wanted to move. Yeah, I do have family in Vegas, and so she had people, and she had people in Vegas, and so I quit that job and moved to Vegas for like 4 years, and that really threw off everything in my trajectory. It was a mess. She was terrible, and she's gone now. I wish her best. She said, "We're friends now. We're friends now." I mean, we're talking a long time ago. Friends. We're friends now. That was a long time ago. And you know, and so it got me to LA a little bit later from Monterey than I planned. But once I got here, I knew I was going to pursue some kind of media stuff. And to not make it too long of an answer, I did do that, but then I started to notice things. There was a lot of things I didn't like, so I kind of just started my own business, which is what TPG is, you know, the paparazzi.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's so interesting how you went from not because you didn't really know, like you didn't go to Hollywood when you were young in Monterey, but you kind of had the excitement of it, right? But you kind of felt like everyone has the excitement of what Hollywood is until you're actually in Hollywood.
Right. Well, I know then you get to Hollywood, there's some guy peeing on the street. Yeah. Right. But that's not what you see on TV. On TV, you see Capitol Records and Hollywood and Vine, you know, and so, but I mean, but long story short, I eventually got here, you know, and start pursuing what I was interested in.
Okay, since we're running short on that time, you know, I got.
Sorry, it's my fault. It's my fault. I talk too much.
Oh no, I love I talk a lot too, so I'm glad.
My beard looks good. My beard looks good.
You look good. Yeah, you look good.
I'm working on the beard, man.
Are you trying to grow it out or something? Is that
I'm trying to grow it out. You know, the bald head black man with the beard. I'm trying to do that. And
on the street of Hollywood.
Yeah. Right on the streets of Hollywood, you know.
So one thing I heard that you went to you were at the Emmys, or you Emmy night type of like there's type of Emmy night thing you did.
I was at the Emmys, and I was also at the Emmy gifting suites. Yeah, I was.
Okay, how was that, real quick?
Oh, it's amazing. This is like my third time.
Okay.
And, wow. Yeah. It's fun, man. You're just around the most famous 1%. And you're taking photos and watching them congratulate themselves on being masters of the universe.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, the fact that you get to see a lot of the celebrities. I mean, you've worked. Do you ever see a lot of the influencers? You know, not a lot of the influencers do TV stuff, but do you think some of them you could see them there one day? And if so, like, you know,
I feel.
You?
A few. A few. And this is the most controversial thing I'm going to say here.
Yeah.
There's influencers. In my head, sorry, I was trying to think of how to say this. In my head, I hope most of them are smart with their money, because the thing about YouTube and Instagram and TikTok is you can go viral. You can get, makeup brand deals and stuff. But I think to have longevity, you have to have true talent. And I would be lying to you. Like, I would never say names. I would never say on the negative side. I'd say positive. I would never say on the negative side of names, but I would say there's a lot of people in this industry that are influencers because their parents have money.
Exactly.
And
No, I agree with that.
that's the secret truth. That's the secret truth that people don't know.
I'm gonna tell you.
And
I just want to say
you
this is
know,
the truth. This is the truth of Boston. So that's the name of this show. So
oh,
everything it
okay,
has to be
good.
truthful
We can be
and to the
honest.
point.
Okay,
I'm very
good,
truthful too, and I will tell
good.
you, I have two sides of my family. So I have the not so successful, not so very rich side, and I have a side that has some money. So I
Yeah,
understand where you're coming with, where
mm,
you're coming with it because in Pasadena you have many different sides of things, where the
right.
community and stuff. So I
Hmm.
don't see a lot of them here as they were all in Hollywood because a lot of them didn't come
Yeah,
from LA. They came
yeah,
from like other areas. And
yeah,
it kind of pissed me off at one point because I was like, what I mean, where is this going to lead? Because
yeah,
we're doing our thing and I want to see who I can actually be able to work with and see what we're
yeah.
doing our own stuff with. Is there three that you can name like the three that you can name that you could see going very like right
Oh,
now very very big like that you really want to is to see it as well.
oh yeah. Well, for sure. One that I name right off is one that you and I actually even worked with together, Stefan
Yeah,
Benz.
definitely.
Um, like shout out to Stefan Benz can actually sing. He actually can dance. He actually writes music. He actually has talent. He's not an influencer, but sometimes he gets linked as one. He's not an
Yeah,
influencer.
but he
He's a
isn't.
very talented singer who I think will blow up. I think
Yeah.
he has I think he has what it takes to literally be a big artist, just like Shawn Mendes, who I used to ignore, who I laugh all the time when I talk to people about me being like, nah, I don't want to interview you. I'm going to interview Cameron and Jake Paul instead, when he would be
Exactly.
with them for a thing called MadCon. For people who know that, look,
Yeah.
MadCon was a thing. He wasn't famous yet, and I didn't see it in him. Now I've been around enough people I can see. Stefan
Yeah.
Benz could be famous. You know what? Aiden Meekus, he does a lot of the Dart Man stuff. He's actually a really good actor. He's actually really talented. I believe he will actually have a successful career. There's a few others. Like I said, I'd rather say those two because there's obviously others too. And then
Hmm.
there's others that I don't think have a chance in that.
Yeah.
So it's just, but
Because
it's like
people,
those two.
yeah, they know because the thing is, especially as a teen actor or not teen actor, as a teen influencer, you have to know how to carry yourself about your family, about your parents
Yeah.
there. And like that's why
Yeah.
I really support a lot of the ones that made it on their own or made it doing it
Yeah.
their own things. And like talking
Yeah.
about Stephon Benz, he has a big support. He has a lot of support
Yeah.
from people.
He
So
does. Because
he
he's
has a great
good. Yeah.
yeah.
Because their parents can afford to put them in a music video. They can't
Yeah.
sing. They can't act. You know what I mean? Their talent is, sorry, I sound bitter, but
No, yeah, yeah.
their talent is that their parents have money. And
We'll just
so,
clip that part and they all go after us. I'm
yeah,
like, no,
yeah.
we won't, we
And
won't.
so,
Yeah, yeah.
hey, do what you gotta do.
You do what you
It
do.
is what it is. This is the truth of Boston, and so I'm
It
being
is the truth of
truthful.
Boston. It is the truth, and that's my promo right there. It is the truth of Boston. But I will say, because we got to wrap it up real quick. But I do want to say,
Let's do it.
what was it like interviewing me?
Austin, really, really cool interviewing you. For the people listening, watching, like I said, we met a few years ago. Things were
Uh-huh.
kind of crazy, and you were filming, doing your thing with a buddy of yours. And I was real focused. I don't even remember who it was. I think it was the Dixie Sisters or something. And I was real focused. And I kind of looked at you guys as like pests. I was like, these guys are
Yeah,
in my way. Who are these guys? What are they doing? And long story short, you and I end up talking, and I realized, man, I feel like I have an eye. I have an eye for it. And I said,
yeah,
the one kid. I don't even know who the other guy was. I'm not
yeah,
knocking him. I'm sure he's a good kid too. But
yeah,
I was, when it came to you, I was like, this kid I had worked with, and so I actually kind of like you guys did a funny thing with Gavin. Like you went
yeah.
to his house, and
That's
I
true.
work with Gavin a lot. And then you did I was kind of so I followed you and watched you. And then what really caught my attention was you did a really funny thing where you listened to his music for like 24
Yeah,
hours or something like that.
yeah.
I
On
thought
some
it
live
was
stream.
hilarious.
Yeah,
And I ended up talking to his mom, Teresa, about that. And we thought it was hilarious. It was really funny. And so it's like, I really wanted to reach out to you and, and I got to interview
yeah.
you. And I think the fact that you're passionate about your city, Pasadena, you really hold it down for Pasadena. I
The
feel
voice
like
that
you're
counts for you
passionate.
today. Mhm. Yeah, I always
That's
go. I'm
funny.
part of the city. Yeah.
I,
But
I, uh, I saw your passion for the city, for media. I recognize the way I look at it, a kid with a good head on his shoulder. So when I interviewed you, it was a lot of fun, man, because
Thank
even
you.
doing this, people ask me to do stupid shit all the time. People ask me
Yeah.
to go here, people ask me to go there. But when you said, hey, can I come and do like a show or like a talk or a podcast? I had no immediately saying yes to you because, big things. We'll be looking back on this interview one day. I might be coming to you for a job.
Maybe. Hey, I would love to see you come out to Pasadena again. We got a lot of big things coming out here. I've been promoting it very well. I'm selling it because I know a lot of people who've been working forever over here, and I'm trying to make sure that they go up with me. And I promised it to them.
Yeah.
I said, because so many people have screwed people over, and I don't do that to people. So I would love to see that. And it's just there's just been a lot going on. But again, this is the second episode. I'm glad that you were able to be part of it because I really wanted you on. Albert could probably even tell you too, the producer. I was like for a while. Yeah, I was like, we need to get him on. Yeah, I think we're having Steph on too.
Oh, that's great. Good, you should.
He's coming on, and then Vex, the guy who he made the song with him, and then we have like a whole list of 30, 40 other people. So
I love it. When do you put the show come? When does the show come out so I can make sure?
This show,
yeah,
exactly, yeah, and we'll send you the link too. This show will be out not this Friday, next Friday. They come out every Friday for now.
Every Friday, yeah, cool, man.
So it's gonna be great. Okay, but I do want to say thank you, Will, for joining us, and we're definitely in the future, especially as long as the seasons keep going up, that you'll be back here, and you'll and hopefully you can join us again, a part 2.
I love it.
That. And thank you.
I got tons more stories. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Of course. Thank you so much, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you for joining the Truth of Austin. Don't forget to check out our sponsors, Cloudy, link in bio. Use my code AustinS10 for 10% off anything on the Cloudy websites. And we will see you next week.